Hello, it is Explorer. Thanks for joining us again and welcome to our channel. If you are joining us for the first time, we want to appreciate your time as always, and hopefully you had some time to review some of our previous episodes that we did here at the Explorer. If you are new to our channel, here at the Explorer we go beyond borders to bring you inspiring content and also some very educating information. Today we shall be looking at why do African leaders shut down internet during in the particular countries and the reason why they do this, and for also we shall be looking into details why this is so consistent into one particular continent. Of course it does happen in a few countries in Asia as well, but we are zooming down to looking at the reason why this is so persistent within the African continent. The African autocratic governments do have their own part that they've also focused into in the past couple of years. But again, we shall be also analyzing the impact as to with regards to this particular internet incident. Without any delay, we shall just go straight into it. The African autocratic governments are gaining more confidence, and there may be a trend towards sustained and prolonged shutdown of internet, which some will say is a blackout over the years. In an election campaign that has been marred by violence and intimidation in most regional or African nations, for example, Burundian government decided to add the cherry on top by disconnecting the internet for its citizens during the polls. This fact of internet disruption has become a notable trend in African nations that are considerable dictatorships. Using the Economist Intelligence Unit for Democracy Index, it is noteworthy that over 22 African states that have disrupted internet connectivity in the last 5 years, that's just 77% are listed as dictatorship, while 23% are considered as partial democracies. The internet and popular social media platforms include Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and also that includes other different platforms, are used as methods to disseminate information and plan and coordinate protest. Therefore, most dictators shut down the internet in the most critical times to ensure democracy dies in the darkness. It is noted that those dictatorships that do not implement internet shutdowns are mostly countries where the fear of the regime runs so deep that the idea of protesting is unformidable. Countries that fall under these descriptions include countries like Rwanda, Eritrea, Djibouti, where the fear of the regime runs deep, or there are internet controls measures rendered ordering over the internet disruptions unnecessary. Autocratic nations in Africa with long serving leaders have notably ordered more internet disconnections or disruptions in recent years. In 2019, of the 14 African leaders who had been in power for 13 years or more, 79% ordered shutdowns. Those shutdowns were ordered during election periods and public protests against government policies. Those leaders incumbent, for example, include Equatorial Guinea, Teodoro Obiang, that's been in power for 39 years. Cameroon's Paul Biya has been in power for 36 years. Congo Brazzaville Denis Sassou have been in power for 34 years. Uganda's Yoweri Museveni has been in power for 33 years. Sudan Omar Bashir, former president, was in power for 30 years. And Chad Edris Deby is currently in power for 29 years. Algeria's Abdelaziz Bouteflika, that was just over 19 years. And also Mauritanian's Mohamed Abdelaziz for 19 years. And you do have the DRC Congo, who just left Joseph Kabila, was for 17 years. Togo's Fallou Ganassibe was for 15 years. And you also have Burundi's Pierre Nkurunziza, who unfortunately was for 13 years. The governments that implement internet shutdowns have become more open about them. The government openly cites the shutdown is a means to ensure national security in a bid to stop spreading disinformation and also hate speech. Internet shutdown therefore find themselves closely placed with crucial events like elections. It is alleged that government shutdown the internet during those times to intimidate the oppositions and their supporters without such events being shared with the world in real time. During protests, internet shutdowns ensure the inability to coordinate and properly planned because of poor communication. Internet shutdown do not only affect democracies or democratic space in those countries, they are implemented. For example, they deal a heavy blow to the economy as well. A report cited that despite how small or how short-lived the internet disruptions are, their effect lasts long enough to, once reconnected, to impact the economies of those particular countries. In 2019, it was projected that if 5 of the countries with scheduled pause shut down their internet for at least 5 days each, limiting access to applications like Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, and economic and other different platforms, the economic cost will be running into billions. It is rather unfortunate that this has also plagued the continent with regards to this, that certain measures that are fighting this in terms of freedom of speech in this particular area is instead hampering the economy. It's rather unfortunate again that the leaders of those particular nations focus on internet, and one would understand the reason why they are looking at these particular areas as a means for them to be able to have control on a few areas. But again, based on research, it's difficult to control this particular aspect of communications, where it's so difficult that most of the servers and the platforms there are different means and ways that internet could be accessed using different methods that can be infiltrated, and so they find it so difficult for them to manage this particular process and to insert their pressure on their different population. The question here we're looking at is why it's only very prevalent within the African continent. We've answered that question as to the reason why they feel that this is an absolute way to manage the process and to put the people under control. It is a shame that when you look at the data that we just mentioned, that the leaders in those countries that actually forced the shutdown of internet have been in power for over 14 years, you say. And this is just unbelievable that 79% of that particular population or that group of presidents have shut down internet. That's 79% of the time. It's also unclear why they focus on during this particular election period, and we've also elaborated reasons why they do that. On a nutshell, the impact on the economy has been enormous. For example, shutting down internet during economic boom, or when the economy of a particular country is accelerating to its peak or maximum, has a huge impact. Nowadays, most economies or businesses will link their operations strategy and contact and operations generally with the internet, and customers are located in different regions around the world. Businesses do have projects and contracts that are located in distant parts around the world. Now, making decisions to shut down internet on a personal basis or to fulfill personal interest makes no sense. Now, we've analyzed the reasons why these particular countries in Africa and why the leaders shut down internet. So I think with regards to the blackout that we did mention, it is unfortunate that those leaders focus on this particular area for them to not just suppress, but again to drive their message. From every indication, those messages never sit well with the different population. Again, we have analyzed to you the reason why African leaders shut down the internet, or why the shutdown of internet or blackout is prevalent, or it's very common within the African continent. If you are joining us for the first time, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and also share our videos to your different network. Again, thanks for watching. We are looking forward to meeting you to our next episode. For now, have a good day and bye for now.